Here's how this is going to go. We had our first lesson and assignment on Friday. You have had 96 hours to do this. Who actually did it? Who's finished? Who got her done? Who took their 25 minutes in class and the remaining 94 very well? Okay. When you come to class, in all of my other classes, we start off with a daily quiz. You are going to do a daily quiz, but in here, I feel it better to go through the assignment, through the answers, to have questions before it. Because, tell you what, a lot of folks are going to, everyone's got that summer Alzheimer's, right? Like you just forget half your life over summer. You come in school, it's kind of rough. That happens over the weekend. That happens over a 48-hour period. If it's been a while, maybe you forgot stuff. So not only does going through it make sure that you did it right, but maybe it jogs your memory just a little bit. So you head over to page, what's that, 7? 7. Page 7. There's some answers. Now, I am going to caution you very strongly. You will hear me say this a lot of times this year. Every year, I get those couple of knuckleheads who think they can just not do anything, come in, and just copy down the answers because we're going to go through it anyway. And they're going to think that that does them any bit of good. It does not. I told you, homework and notes, assignments and notes, the entirety of that packet, everything that we do in this class, 10% of your grade. It is only 10%. It's 10% for just showing up and doing what you're supposed to. Okay? The daily quiz that we're about to do, that's worth 10%. Who's got their headphones rolling? Yeah, let's not do that. Because if it's that loud that I'm distracted, I'm betting you're probably not getting the full intent of what's happening. Okay? 70% are the in-class test quizzes that we do. Okay? This is not going to do you any bit of good to just copy this and think that you're getting freebies. If anything, it's going to screw you over so bad when it comes time to actually do it for real that you are doing yourself a disservice by copying. Okay? Now, do I want you to check your answers? Yes. If you get it wrong, yeah, I want you to put a little asterisk next to it and I want you to ask so we can go through it. Because odds are you're not the only one who had that problem. If you got it wrong, there's someone else who got it wrong. I guarantee it. So I want you to ask questions. This is not the time to be quiet because in every other class that you've had in math, you were probably able to just sit in the back and just kind of fade into the wall and just leave me alone. That ain't going to happen in here. I'm going to pick on every single one of you because we're all starting at about the same spot. Okay? So, starting with here, each one of these you were supposed to give an example of that property. Some of them, like number 10, what times 4 times 5 equals 12 times what times what? I have to fill in the specific numbers, 12, 4, and 5, to make the associative property work. Some of them, there was one where you got to choose, right? Wasn't there one you got to kind of BS your way through it? Oh yeah, 12. You got to choose what to distribute. You didn't have to put 2. You could have put 102 there. Wouldn't you still have 102 times 8 and 102 times 1? If you distributed, if you did that little rainbow arrow business? Okay, so that one was a little more open-ended. Sometimes it'll be open-ended, sometimes it'll be, no, you have to have this. But on these 7 right here, we got any questions on those? This was fill it in using the property. Okay, I know, especially if you're not used to being too involved with the class, it might be hard to speak up, but I hope we at least got enough courage to say 15. Like, that's it. You don't have to give me a reasoning. You don't have to give me a thesis on it. Just like, 15, bad. 15, bad. Okay, I'll go through 15. All right? Any of these? All right. Then, how's about flip it over, next page. Each of these was one of our properties. Now, you could have gotten a little bit abbreviated laziness on them. That's okay, remember? If you said commutative property of addition like that, I'm cool with it. We talked about that. Each one of these was one of those properties from the front page. You all had examples for them. You roll through them and you say, did I do it right? If I didn't, put a little asterisk next to it. Circle that number, whatever it's going to be, because we want to make sure that we're doing it right before I go and throw a daily quiz up here that is actually going in the grade book. This is just, did you do it? The daily quiz is, did you do it right? Yes, sir. 19's a little sketchy. Okay. Additive identity. Okay, maybe it's not called that. Did you call it identity property of addition?
I call it addition identity property.
Yeah, that's fine. You just mixed your words a little bit. You knew what it was, right? Identity means I do something to it and it doesn't change. 9 is still 9. Additive identity says if I add a 0, it's still the same number. You just swap the order of the words. Good. You got it right. You're right. Okay. I'm never gonna count off because maybe we said something a little bit different, unless there's something very specific about it. Okay. Nothing? We all knocked it out of the park? I mean, day one was just vocabulary pretty much. Today we got a little more meat and potatoes. Okay, 23. I know I did have one or two kids ask about this, and I wanted to make sure we go through the word problem ones, especially in class, because, y'all, let's be honest. And then Satan said, let there be words with math. Right? Most of us, when people start smashing English and math together in the same problem, we're just like, table flip, I'm done. Okay? So we're going to go through that just to be safe. Whew, here we go. The wages for some summer jobs. Boy, this book is old. $8 an hour, $6 an hour. Like around town, honestly, yeah, you're all in high school, but if you're going to get yourself a part-time job, stick it to the man. Don't you dare accept a job anywhere in this town for under 10. Don't you dare. You are worth more than that. They're being a cheapskate if they're going to try to pay you under 10. If you are currently at a job that is paying you less than 10, tell them, give me 10 or I'm going to go over here instead. And they're going to say, fine, I can get another teenager. Watch, laugh, blast it on social media, give it another 2 weeks. They're going to be shut down because they don't have workers like KFC. Okay? I'm not joking. You are worth more than $7.25 an hour. That's child labor. Okay? All right. Anyway, babysitting $8, gardening $6, mow the lawn $20 a yard. On Monday, Sharon's going to mow 2 lawns, 3 hours gardening. Wednesday, 2 hours babysitting, 1 lawn. Friday, 2 hours gardening. How much did she earn for all the work? So in each one of these things, what you're taking is, on this day I did thing, on this day I did thing. She talked about 3 different days. That's how I'd start the problem. On Monday, I did this, Wednesday this, Friday that. You know what? We'll just get rid of this entirely. Go away. Go away. This does not exist. This is not here. As soon as I see Monday, Wednesday, Friday, cool. This thing, and then I made some more money, and then I made some more money, and then that got me all my money. Would we at least be able to do that?
Yeah.
Blank plus blank is how much money I got. Okay, now fill in the blanks. On Monday, 2 lawns, 3 hours gardening. So I got 2 of a thing. And it says the lawns are $20. Okay. And means I'm going to add, right? If I say you get 5 detentions and 2 detentions and 6 detentions and 12 years of summer school, and means you add them together, right? You're not subtracting them. There's probably someone in here who was like, yeah, that's just the first semester. And 3 hours gardening. So 3 of what? And then we come over here and it says, I do 6 hours, or $6 for every hour. On Wednesday, 2 hours babysitting. That is trash, by the way. I pay a minimum 15 for babysitting. Plus 1 lawn. So 1 lawn, lawns are 20. Plus Friday, 2 hours gardening, and that's it. 2 hours of gardening is 6. Okay. Do you see where they got them from if we kind of talk it through instead of just, hey, here's numbers? Then take care of them individually in pieces. 2 by 20, 3 by 6, 2 by 8, 1 by 20, 2 by 6. Add them all up. Do y'all remember compatible numbers? Like, what's 7 plus 3?
10.
What's 4 plus 6?
10.
8 plus 2?
10.
9 plus 1?
10.
6 plus 4?
10.
Those numbers are called compatible numbers because they make something nice and easy, like 10. So whenever I see numbers that are compatible, like 18 and 12, since I know 8 and 2 is 10, plus another 10 and 10, I know that's 30. Plus 20 is 50. Plus 40 is 90. What's 90 plus 16? 106. Now let's be honest. You mowed 3 lawns, did 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 hours of manual labor and 4 lawns. You think that's worth $100?
No.
No, not even close. Got robbed. Oh, randomly, if you guys are, if y'all are ever coming in here, that little wedge off to the side of the board there, I'm gonna start writing stuff in there, and I feel free to add into it too. Every time that I go somewhere, I do the Arby's drive-through. I hadn't been there in like 4 years. You know, first thing I ask them, hey, what's your starting wage? Literally like the meme, sir, this is a Wendy's. Okay. Like, no, seriously, what's your starting wage? No experience, someone coming in fresh. And they'll stop and they'll ask the manager and they'll double check and they'll say like, well, we start at, right now we have everyone starting at 11.50. I'm trying to get that raised. I'm actually talking to the regional manager to make sure, see if we can compete because Burger King is just crushing us. I will come in and I will write up here, Arby's start 11.50. Just so students who come in my room know what's available in town. Okay? Did Dickie's close? Do either of you know?
No, it didn't.
Okay, because
They have a new person running it.
I know, but when I went there like a week and a half ago, on a Saturday, they were like closed. It was dark. So, okay. But when I talked to some folks over at Dickies, they said that they were starting at like 14, I think. Yeah. I want kids to go like, $7.25, $10 an hour. That's barely going to pay your cell phone bill. Okay? And your gas. Okay? Don't take anything under 10 here. Y'all are worth more than that. Okay, the last few things were vocabulary. Remember I said you go back to the front page of the section and there's a whole box off to the right side. That is all of your vocabulary. It's literally just go back and double check it, read it. Then at the bottom, in the really pixelated, worse than 8-bit Mario section, it's going to say some sort of open-ended question. Suppose you need to clean your room and clean the kitchen. Does the order in which you perform the task matter? Okay. Now what they want us to say is, no, I'm still doing both. Commutative property, right? They both got to get done. Room plus kitchen is still kitchen plus room. Now someone might get a little facetious and start arguing, well, yeah, it does. Have you seen my room? After I'm done with my room, I'm going to have zero motivation. I'm going to do such a horrible job on the kitchen. Okay, I mean, if you want to argue it like that, I'll be okay with it. At least I know what you're thinking. So, after all of that, I told you for this class, you needed the packets are going to be our combination homework and in-class notes. But in addition, you need a folder and or notebook that you are going to write our daily quizzes in. And maybe you do some extra scratch work. So you have your notebook or a folder, something. This is dedicated to math. You are going to use it all year long. You're also not just going to chicken scratch this thing, label it. I would like you to, at the top, write 1.1 properties. And then we shall now have a daily quiz. We'll start every day with go through our stuff and then daily quiz. Unless we didn't finish, then we do the daily quiz next time. When we do this, open notes, open everything. You will never be denied resources in my room. Okay? Do I want you to grab your phone and try to Slater it? No. In fact, if you're doing that, I'm just going to call you out. I'm going to call you out in front of everyone and say, knock it off. That's a 0. Come back during Spartan time and I'll give you a different problem now. Now you got to waste your time because you're wasting this time. Okay, don't do that. I don't want you talking to your neighbor. I want to know what you know, not what your neighbor knows. And that includes you think you're discreet. Okay, y'all, that's not sneaky. I know what's going on. Okay. So open notes, open all of your resources, just close mouths. Okay? I would like you to, real quick, name the property shown with each of these. Number 1. Number 2. No. How do I want to do that one? Hey, I said big. Do this. And number 4, if you could please simplify. Now that's a lot more than I'll normally do, but that's because each of these are just write the words. Normally it'll be 1, maybe 2 problems. Okay? So every other thing that we were doing in class, I wanted you talking, I wanted you cross-chatting, arguing with your neighbors. This is the few things, this and our in-class tests, these are the only things that I want you doing on your own. So I'm going to be quiet real quick. I'm going to eat the rest of my ham. Should probably take this off so there's not a bunch of on the video. Didn't get to finish my lunch. You do your thing. Do those 4, write them out. You don't have to copy the problems. Oh yeah, that's ancient magic right there. That's like, as when I'm writing the rules of time. It still works though, right?
Yes.
There you go. Okay, I like the folks that I'm seeing have their notes flipped open to that front page. Look at the examples. Did the order change? Did the grouping change? Did nothing change? Look at the examples and which one is that called?
Okay, just abbreviate distributed as DIS.
At least do what? Dist. So as long as you ain't disappearing for 15, 20 minutes in the middle of class, right after lunch, if you're having Taco Bell, I understand. As long as you're not disappearing for too long, no, just leave your phone here and go. You're not potty trained. Go for it. You don't have to ask me. Which, by the way, thank your parents for potty training you. Please. That was grueling work. I have to bribe my 4-year-old to get him to take a dump. We're not at the money stage yet. It's more like he gets to play that game on my phone. Or he gets to watch the video with all of the toy cars.
Or candy.
Or candy. He will fight. It's like trying to get a cat to take a bath. You start threatening him. Do I gotta call the poop doctor? My wife scared the bejesus out of him, showed him a video of some veterinarian who had to reach into an elephant because the elephant was constipated to pull it out. Do we gotta go call the poop doctor? Just like that elephant? Oh! Oh yeah, he's going to be in therapy later.
My dad
I
tried.
actually think I am going to be. Someone call my therapist.
Is everyone good? Looks like everyone's pretty much there. Okay.
I still haven't gotten
Thing times 1 is still the thing. Just because it's got parentheses doesn't mean it has to do anything with the stuff that has parentheses.
Dang it.
Thing times 1 is still the thing.
Shucks.
What says waffles times 1 is still waffles?
Oh.
I don't know.
Identity property of multiplication.
Oh, I got.
Just because it has parentheses doesn't mean anything. You got to look.
The quiz is already over.
Yeah. Did you need more time? I'm sorry. I was coming around. I saw stuff on everyone's paper. I thought we were good. Pause. If we need to come back and just give you a different problem, don't worry about it, okay? All right. 2. Did something change? Still the same numbers, but they're in a different order. What says order doesn't matter? Commutative property, and then I need to say what were they?
Addition.
Yep, they were floating around a plus sign. So that's commutative property of addition. Next one. What changed? Kevin? The order. Right? Instead of 687, now it's 867. And the 8 and the 6 are still in parentheses together.
Commutative property of multiplication.
So these two swapped around a multiplication sign, commutative property of multiplication. And finally, if I'm going to distribute, this is distributive property. I take 2 times everything inside. What is 2 times x? Just a 2x, right? We just smash them together and call it good. 2 times a 9. Specifically a positive 9. 2 times 9. 18. There you go. So next to each of these, you are going to score them yourself every time. Just like when I say on the homework, I don't want you just copying so you get free points. That doesn't help you when it comes time to the actual test, which is what really affects your grade. This, every day, is just that's a gut check moment. This is am I understanding this or not? And right next to it, whatever you got out of 5, 1 point, 1 point, 1 point, 1 point, 1 point. Okay? Those are your 5 points, your 5 things. So next to this, I want you to put what you got out of 5, box it in, circle it in, something so it's easy for me to tell what it is. Make sure you also have the 1-1 properties on there, because every time we take a test or a quiz, you're going to throw your notebook and your notes up here on the counter. I'm going to flip through them real quick. Some of you, your backpack is the ungodly love child between a trash compactor and a black hole. I do not want you putting that on my counter. Please make it somewhat organized. Your packet, and then this notebook or folder that you have your daily quizzes in. Okay? I should be able to flip open to this page. Don't randomly put your biology notes right after this. Okay? Math book. If you need more books, I guarantee We got them down in the sped rooms. I got extra books. They've always got some over in the guidance office. We've got notebooks. Just get a separate book. The tree's already dead. Honor its sacrifice. Okay? So that's it. You mark that. Flip it open to 1, 2, and here we go again. Come on. No. There we go. All right. So the stuff we're starting off with, ironically, is something that you probably haven't seen exponents since middle school. If you dealt with them last year at all, it wasn't very much. So some of the stuff that we're about to do for the next couple weeks, actually, fix the ding ding, is brand new material. Okay? We go slow. We're only going to go as far as you guys are okay with in any given day. Come on, Frank. I'm going to start with, y'all have seen this before, right? 3 to the 5th. Exponents, right? We kind of talked about order of operations before. In fact, we're going to deal a little more with order of operations later, but exponents means I am going to repeatedly multiply thing. 3 to the 5th doesn't mean 3 times 5. It means that many 3s. 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Does everyone know, off the top of their head, without looking at this, see, I can't even say. Does everyone have a calculator on hand? Y'all need a calculator on hand. Now, whether you are going to use your own calculator, whether you are going to use the laptop calculator, you are going to use those calculators over there, and you always get that one kid who doesn't understand. It's like 10, 8, 9. God, it's like a whole class full of Ralph Wiggums. Y'all gonna need a calculator. Your phone. If you have a phone, y'all got a calculator on there. Y'all know that if you turn it sideways, you get the scientific, right? Where is it? Okay. If I got regular phone, calculator. If I turn it sideways, it should switch into scientific mode. Further, I want to make sure that everyone in here is going to have their own calculator, not just the one on the phone, although that's okay to use. If you want a scientific calculator and do not have one, folks aren't able to get you one, come talk to me. I can get you one. All right? I do still have some freebies. Like, come on, man. We're doing math, not like advancing on Silent Hill. That's some creepy sounding. I don't even know what. With every one of these, we got to do a little bit of vocabulary check here. If I say 3 to the 5th, the 3, the big number, the number that you're repeatedly multiplying, that is called a base. The number up top, superscript, it's called, is called the exponent. That tells you how many times you're going to do this. When you find the answer, you say equals this big honking number. Let's do Poiple. That is called the power. Specifically, it's the 5th power of 3. Okay? Y'all, if you don't know that, write it, because that is vocabulary. I'm not one of those guys that's going to have you fill in the blank for vocabulary on a quiz. I'm not going to do the flashcards and the note cards and everyone color the poster and put it up in the corner kind of. No. But if you don't know the vocabulary, how many times have you gotten to a problem and you don't even know they're asking because they got words in there that are like a different friggin' language? If I asked you right now to find the apothegm of the polygon, like if I don't know what an apothegm is, it's not a possum with a lisp. It's not an apothegm. It's apothem. It's the distance from the center of a polygon directly to the side, perpendicular to the side. You're going to learn about it in geometry next year. Okay? If you don't know what it is, you can't answer the question. Write down the friggin' vocabulary so that if you see the question, you know what they're asking. Right? A good chunk of you have had some form of job. Do you have to learn a little bit of technical jargon to be at the job? Okay? Like, especially if you're running service industry, fast food, man, people in the back in the kitchen, they got their own language, right?
Yeah.
Because it's all shorthand. You have to know that to understand what's going on. Your first day on the job, you look just as dumb as you feel. Sorry, but you do. Because you don't know what's going on. You just stand there going, everyone's like freshman. So, all right, you got to know the words. It means just multiply it that many times. I want to make sure that everyone has that button on their calculator is why I asked. So everyone should have a button that looks like this, 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 A to the B, like those are the most common ones, okay? I want everyone to find that button on their calculator. Whatever calculator you are using, you need to continue using it throughout the year. Now we can switch you, but everyone has this.
There's like two, that, and then that. What do these mean?
Okay, this one says, okay, this is a good question. Chloe's got a good question here. She sees this. That's actually got a number on it though, right? This specifically says only square things. Take it times itself. I want the one further down that looks like this, where I'm allowed to put in both the base and the exponent. It switches the function. So like if I hit second, it will switch like normally on other calculators, words hard. There you go. On a lot of calculators, in a different color right above them, it'll have another, kind of like the shift switches things on a keyboard. Same thing on a calculator. Okay. So everyone find it. Prove to me that you have it. I want you all to find right now what is 5 to the 5th. Don't do it longhand. Don't just multiply a bunch of 5s. Get that exponent button and say 5 to the 5th. That means you too. Then maybe you should find the caret button right here that I have in that bottom corner. Okay. More following what we're doing, less impaling your calculator. It already had this pen jammed in it that I just jammed in it. Okay. Can you find one of those yellow figures in the bottom there? That's what most people's calculators are going to have. You got it? Right? You turn it sideways. Ah, your buttons are over there. They're hiding. That's a reciprocal button, and we will use that eventually. Okay? Kev, you find yours?
I don't have all of them. The only one I can
Okay.
find is this
Yep.
one.
See? X box.
That's the only one I can
Yep.
find.
That's the one. So you'll type 5 and then hit the. See? And now.
I know, but like I don't have. I don't think I have the rest of them.
But you don't need the rest of them. I'm saying everyone's calculator is going to look a little different.
So all I need to.
That's your exponent button. Your
Okay.
exponent button ain't going to be the same as Shane's.
Okay.
Okay? That's your button.
This is all I need.
Yep. That is you licking it and shoving your finger in the cake. That one's yours.
Look at this.
Okay?
I was taking notes.
All right. I like it. Found it? Yep. Okay, good. Because these are some of the older TIs are sketchy. Okay, you do got it. Okay. All right. You should have 3125.
Just you can use that, right?
Oh, cool. I didn't know that was another feature on there. I hate these calculators. I honestly, I never use these ones. I use the emulator. Got it? Somewhat, dude. Either you got 3125 or you did. Get your freak. Come on, dude. Come on. I'm being a guru over here. 5
And then I
to
press
the
that.
5th.
Okay, I
3125.
just pressed 5.
Help? Or got it? Okay, cool. All right, just making sure that we all got it. It was 3125. 3,125? You did another 5. You did 5 to the 6th.
I did 5 to the 5.
Lies! Oh, do your thing. We want to double check it. I just want to make sure that everyone's good. Nice thing about those is they're going to have the history to it, right? Fling it up from the bar there. Oh, freak! I hate Apple. Okay, like with a passion. Where's okay?
You can't view the history on that.
What? Steve Jobs, you jerk! Okay, I don't know. Okay, just ask. It's okay. Where's the history is what we're looking for.
It doesn't have a history.
Okay. Then it didn't have history.
Is this
All right.
clock right here at the top? Yours is an Android.
Oh, yep. His is different. That's okay. We'll get it figured out. Okay. If you need, these ones I am absolutely in love with. Okay. Got a little, literally, X box. Okay. So if you need that.
5 times, it's
5.
60.
Oh, you're multiplying by 5s?
Yes.
You multiplied 5 by additional 5 5s. Now it's 6 5s. Okay. No. That is a good point of clarification to make. Here. 5 times 5.
That's how I did it.
But only 5 times. Did you do 5 times 5 5s?
Yes.
Now there's 6 5s up there. We just want the 5 5s. It says take 5 times itself. 5 of the 5s. Okay? No, these are good things to take care of before we start. Like, we want to know this. All right. That's what an exponent means. Y'all are going to love this one. Zero property of exponents. It means anything to the 0 power is always 1. Always, no matter what. Now we're going to go into why later next week. Right now, it's magic, believe it, muggle. Okay? Anything to the 0 power is 1. Anything. Legit. You all got your calculator out in front of you. Do 5 to the 0. Do 3125 to the 0. Pancakes to the 0. Anything to the 0 power is 1. Okay? I know you don't have a pancake button on there, otherwise everyone would definitely be doing pancake, 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 pancake. Okay? Anything to the power of 0 is 1. That's a big one. You're going to love that later on. Product of powers. Y'all remember the word product? Product means I will multiply. Powers, that's your exponent and base smashed together. Product of powers says I will take two exponents and I will multiply them together. I'll zoom way in on this. Come on, you. Come on, Frank. Come on, Frank. Thank you, Frank. The product of powers property says if I multiply exponents that have the same base, I add the exponents. Now here's why. What if I had 3 to the 4th times 3 to the 2nd? Okay. What does this mean? What does it mean? 3 to the 4th. Like, how do I write that out longhand? We just did it. 3, 3, 3, 3, right? What does 3 to the 2nd mean? 3, 3. How many 3's are all up there together? 6 of them, right? So instead of writing it out longhand like that, some smart dead dude figures out, how about I just smack those two together? How about I just call that 3 to the 6th instead? Okay, that is the property. Nice and easy. Prove it. 5 to the 7th times 5 to the 8th. What? Y'all got a calculator in front of you, though, because we just checked it on a calculator. If you don't know off the top of your head what 3 to the 7th and 3 to the 8th are together, or sorry, 5. 5 to the what? 15. Now, that's going to be a gigantosaurus number in your calculator, though. It's probably going to go to scientific notation. It's just too big. Okay? At a certain point, your calculator stops trying to write it out and they switch to scientific notation. Y'all remember that from physical science last year? Remember doing stuff like 1.32 times 10 to the 5th? Your calculator will automatically switch to that if the numbers get too big or too small. This is probably going to be too big. Okay, Kev said his was. Next up, power of a product. Now, notice I put the exponent part first and then I say product. That means I'm going to take something that's multiplied together and raise it to an exponent. It's a lot like distribution. See how they're all in parentheses? They all get the n. It's like mathematical Oprah. You get a car, and you get a car, and you get a car, and you get a car. It gives everyone an n. Okay? And there's probably some of you in here who are like, I'll take a car. Mine's like a $200 beater. I don't want it. Give me a car. No, I got a new truck for the first time in my life when my kid was born because my wife said the other one was too much a piece of junk. So, like, no, we're not carrying around our spawn in that beater that you have. Fine. fine, I'll pay money. It was one of the very first models of Colorado. It was older than you, so. So she made us get a new vehicle. But my first car, okay, who in here, you guaranteed, you know, you got the worst vehicle in the classroom. Yours is just like, you could write epic Greek poems about it because it's that bad. Maybe?
I got a new one.
Okay. I was in high school, 99 to 2003. I had an 88, so it wasn't that old, 11 years old, 12, 13. 88 Cutlass Calais. It was like a box on wheels. It was multicolored. It was rippled from one end to the other from all the times it had been hit. You open the trunk with the screwdriver. You keep a staple gun in the center console to keep putting the fabric back up. A hole in the muffler the size of your head. So this little box on wheels sounded like a Mack truck. Not like the Hick lot, like straight pipes. I'm talking, it sounded sad. Well, you kind of sound like my 2-year-old when he doesn't want to eat his vegetables. Okay, y'all are supposed to have crappy vehicles. You're in high school. You don't respect them yet. Okay. Anyway, this guy gets a car and that guy gets a car, so they both got a car. Mathematical Oprah. They're happy. Okay. This is going to work even with numbers. You get the 3 and you get the 3. You have a 3. You have a 3. Oprah, calm down. Stop giving everyone cars. This means 6 times 6 times 6, 2 times 2 times 2. I would like you to try this in your calculator using your exponent buttons. Don't just type 6 times 6 times 6 times 2 times 2 times 2. I want you to type 6 to the third times 2 to the third. I want to see that we get that. Do you get the 1728? Because some of us are going to have, it's called syntax. Syntax is the order in which we say things. Like Yoda had really weird syntax. He said things correctly. It was correct words, but his order was mixed up. Sometimes your calculator is going to require that you type it a certain way. I want to make sure that you do get the 1728. Don't just follow along. There's a big difference between watching someone else do it and doing it yourself. Okay? So I think what you're going to have to do is in stages. You're going to have to do 6 to the third, enter. Times 2 to the third, enter.
And then times it. Yeah,
I think you might have to. Try it.
I'm also going to do that.
Okay? Or parentheses. Parentheses are a great thing. Okay, let me get the lame calculator up here. I really, really dislike the calculators on here. I know, but I want to make sure I'm doing it the same way that you are. And some of you are stuck with this, so I want to do it the way you are going to see it. Okay. Standard, scientific. Hey, I said scientific. Come on. All right. So what I'm going to do is a parenthesis 6 to the third, and then close the parenthesis. You see how that kind of takes care of it? Okay. Landon, you can try this with parentheses instead of doing them with the equal sign. 6 to the third, parenthesis, parenthesis, times parenthesis 2 to the third parenthesis. Okay? So parentheses might be the thing that gets us through. I want to make sure that everyone is able to do this. It might be slow right now, but y'all making sure we know how to use the tools. If you have had that summer job, you've had to deal with training day, haven't you? watching those horrible videos, someone showing you, no, you're supposed to shake the fries counterclockwise. Okay, something. It was boring, it sucked, but it was also necessary. Making sure we know how to use our tools, it's necessary. Okay? So we'll leave this down here. I just want to make sure everyone knows how to do it. Okay. This is power of product. Power of a power. If I take an exponent to another exponent, okay? Exponent to an exponent, I'm going to multiply them. And here's why. This is saying I've got 4 of this whole thing. So if I were to write it out longhand, that's this, 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 this. Do you agree that it's 4 of those? And if I were to add 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, it would be 8. Altogether, there's 8 4s up there. I don't want to write it out longhand. I'm lazy. I'm not lazy. I'm an energy conservationist. So instead, just multiply them together. 4 to the 8th, big thing. Off to the side, you all have a blank space on this page, right over here. I would like everyone to put this. If I take x to a y to the z, I will multiply. If I take x to the y times x to the z, I will add. So here's what I mean. You downshift everything. If I have an exponent raised to an exponent, multiply them. If I have an exponent times an exponent, add them. You know how add and multiply and exponent all make things bigger? Normally. You just take all of those operations and downshift them one. An exponent to an exponent, downshift, multiply them. Multiply exponents, downshift, add them. You always downshift whatever it is. Okay? So, we got a lot of talking at the beginning, but then we see it in action. Here we go. What property says 14 to the 0 is, well, first of all, go back to the other page. What is anything to the 0?
1.
Uno! It's an exponent of 0. The base is not 0 itself, so I have the 0 property. Is it 0 power property or power of 0 property? Whatever, close enough. Says anything besides 0 itself to the 0 power is uno. We're not always going to have to write what property it is, but they like to start us at baby steps here. Okay. Everyone got it? Example 1. 0 power property tells me anything to 0 power is 1. You're really going to like that on the test when we do the big ugly mess. I'm not joking. This whole honking thing here, one. Because it's the whole honking thing to the 0 power. Now that assumes that x is not 0, but you'll talk about that later in Algebra 2. If you go to Algebra 2, you don't have to. All right. Simplify the expression. Name the property you're using. Over here, they took 4 to the second times 4 to the third. If I were to write it out longhand, that's a pair of 4s and a triple 4. Why didn't I just take 2 plus 3 at the beginning and say it's 4 to the 5th because there's 5 of them. Grab my calculator, 4 to the 5th, I get 1024. Does anyone still play that 2048 game? That was a craze like 3-4 years ago. 2048, it's all powers of 2, and you like slide the 2 into the 2, it makes a 4. Slide the 4 into the 4, it makes a, right? Yeah. Okay. Now, here, I've got 2 different bases, and they're both raised to the same exponent. I am taking a power of a product. If you're not sure what it's called, go back to the first page and look for what looks like this. Okay? Power and product property says, see how they're all in those parentheses? Who gets the 2? 2's on the outside in the parentheses. Bunch of stuff in the parentheses. Everyone gets the 2. Mathematical Oprah. You get a 2, and you get a 2. 3 squared means 3 times 3, which is 9. Angry German. 5 squared means 5 times 5. What's 5 times 5? 25. So then, smack them together and say 9 by 25. Don't use that calculator. Use what you know. Count by quarters. Right? What if I had 9 quarters in my hand? 25, 50, 75, $1. What is 9 25s? $2.25. $2.25. Okay? You can use the calculator. I just want to see, can we use our prior knowledge? If you can, go for it. Okay, like right now, if I were to ask you, what's 60 divided by 12? How'd you get that? Oh, we just know it. Okay. Some of us got our multiplication facts memorized. Would anyone think if I said 60 divided by 12 to look at a clock?
Yes.
60 minutes broken into 12 sections. What is each section worth?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. 343. In fact, I was just chewing out my Algebra 2 today, telling them they need to know their squares through 20, cubes through 10, fourths through 5, as many powers of 2 and 3 as they can remember. I'm going to try to get you all in the same spot because you're going to want to know those numbers. Next up, what do I do with an exponent raised to an exponent? Exponents. Downshift. What's down from that? An exponent raised to an exponent. Go back and look at the first page because it's an example and a property right on there. Look at the first page, find something like that. The first page that we just did. I multiply them. Y'all, it's right on there. You go and find something that looks like this. Okay? I have a power raised to another power. Exponent. Power of a power says, I'm just going to multiply those and say that's 4 times 2, which is 8. 2 to the 8th. Anyone? Y'all got a calculator and we just practiced it. What's 2 to the 8th? Grab. No, because it's 8 2's multiplied together.
256.
256. Oh,
256.
okay. Let's double check this. Grab that calculator and say 2, use your exponent button, to the 8th. Okay? Use that button. Don't try to do it the long way. If you do it the long way, especially if there's other stuff going on in the room, it's really hard to lose count. Especially if someone else is saying something while you're counting. Who in here has been that troll? You know who you are. Someone else is counting like 34, 35, 36, 37, and you're the person next to him going 43, 72, square root of 5. Okay? Completely wrecks you, right? How many times have you been in the middle of typing something? Someone else talks. The primary causes of the American Civil War are, dude, where's my keys? What? Right? It's our ability to filter out audio as we're thinking. And if you're trying to go 2 times 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 2. Wait, did I just do 8 or 9? I don't know. What if my number is wrong and I didn't check it because I didn't use the exponent button? Right? So please, please, please make sure you know where the exponent button is on your calculator. Yes, this is 256. So we got all these different properties about exponents and multiplying them and smashing them all together. Let's see. Can we simplify these or not? Well, oh, they already simplified it for us. We need to say what property this is. So they took a product of exponents to another exponent. There are two properties here. They took the power of a product but they also, you got a 2 and you got a 2. They also did a power of a power. These are tough trying to figure out because they use the same two words over and over. But I'm betting we could find number 2. Go flip it over to this first page. Read through the properties. Which of those properties does that look like? The 0 power property. Okay? Okay. Words, example, practice. Little tougher practice. Do on your own practice. We good? Cool. Assignment. That's how these roll. So, not yet. I want to make sure that we're good on these first. Simplify this expression. Name the properties used. So, I'm probably going to want to group things that go together. For example, you don't want to try to mate a turtle with a giraffe. Fun to watch, not going to accomplish anything. I don't want to put the 5 with the t to the 4th. What do I want to put the 5 with? The 2. Regular number, coefficient with coefficient. So let's say 5 by 2. Then I'm also going to take the t to the 4th with the t squared. Multiply the integers. What is 5 times 2? 10. Cool. Multiply the powers. The base of each of those powers, they're both base t. So what do I do to these? If I multiply exponents, what do I do to the exponents themselves? Go back to the front page. Go find something that looks like this. What do I do with the 4 and the 2? front page. Look for something that looks like that. Y'all. Flip the page over and look for the stupid dragon. I feel like Yosemite Sam up here. You're killing me. Come on. Flip it back over
Come on, Brayden.
and go find something that looks like t to the fourth times t to the second. What did they do? Product of powers property. Yes, Kevin. What do we do with the actual numbers? What do I do with the 4 and the 2? Y'all hurting me? You hurting me deep? Y'all. You go back to this page.
Oh, that page.
You hunt around on the first page. And you say, which of these things looks like that thing?
Okay.
And then I look, what did they do with the two things that they multiplied? They took those exponents and they added them. So that's t to the 4 plus 2. That's t to the 6. Y'all. I'm going to start calling you freshmen. Freshmen. Okay. Let's get back over here. We have 5 by 2. We have t to the 4th, t to the 2nd. 5 by 2 we said was 10. Each power has a base of t. I'm going to add the exponents. Use the product of powers property because that's the one that looked just like this. And I say 4 plus 2 is 6. So if I have this part smashed together as 10, and this part smashed together as t to the 6th, lo and behold, I have 10t to the 6th. Ain't rocket surgery. It's me being facetious.
What's that?
It ain't rocket horse.
Being a turd for the express purpose of being a turd. You ask another question, you're going to your room without any dessert. Okay? Y'all, don't make it tougher than it needs to be. It's monkey see, monkey do. I want you to try each of these 4. All 4 of them have a different property used. They're all from the front page. Go back to the front page and do the thing just like on the front page. My soul is dripping blood right now. Y'all. It shouldn't be monstrous. Are we about there? Halfway? Okay. What was day one with it? Okay.
There's a student in the hallway that wants to borrow an Algebra half book. Do you have
Yeah,
Algebra?
right up there on the. Yeah, you're good, kiddo. Just take one of those and then bring it back next hour. All right, let's see what we got. Anything to the 0 power is uno. Hey, I told you you'd like that one. Which is the 0 power property. Okay? If I take two exponents and I multiply them together, they have the same base. Exponent to an exponent, downshift to multiply. Multiply exponents, I downshift to add. 5 plus 2 is 7. 2 to the 7th. It is 128. I took two powers and multiplied them together. Multiplying is product. This is the product of powers property. I have an exponent raised to an exponent. Downshift. What do I do with them? I multiply. That's 4 times 3, which is x to the 12th. It is the power of powers. I told you you'd like it. That big old snot mess right there to the 0. 1. What? Aw, boo. All right. I don't know, Frank just decides what he's... That's why we call him Frank. Not very smart, not cooperative. Okay, again. I do some, you do some. We keep going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and we say, help me out. You know what? I ain't going to do all these. Nope, 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 nope. Instead, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18. We'll just say that 19 and 20 don't exist. Kevin. Sit down, dude. You ain't touching my board. Frank doesn't like me. No, sit. You are going to make me do one. One of those 6. You pick the one, and Kevin says, no, I ain't doing this. You do it. You tell me which one of these 6 do I have to do. 9, he says. Hey, hold up here. Who is that 0 touching?
Me. Equals 12.
What is the 0 hugged up on?
B.
Only the B. Do you see parentheses around that thing?
No.
So it's only touching B. Here's what I mean, okay? If I come over here and I hang out next to Gavin, I go invade his personal space. Okay, right now, you're like, what's up, bud? How's it going?
Very good.
I'm just hanging out with him, right? He's my buddy. But if I go and grab him and I yank him over here, I'm like, what's up, dudes? Okay, I put my arm around both of them. Now there's parentheses involved. Now they're both feeling socially awkward. Okay, before it was just Gavin. The parentheses aren't here. If I have parentheses and then a 0, everyone gets the 0. I would just say it's equal to 1 and be done. But since the 0 only touches B, this is now 12 times what is B to the 0? 1. And what is 12 times 1? Our multiplicative identity from last time. Other 5 is you. Ooh! Yeah, we're right up on the thing there. Okay, remember when I said, I am not going to be the guy that says, we do stuff, here's your homework, go figure it out. I just don't feel comfortable with it. Pause right there. No assignment. When you come in on Thursday, we will finish this section, and then you will have time in class to do the assignment. That's how my class rolls. Okay? You better come back in caffeinated next time because this was atrocious.
I didn't fall asleep. I didn't fall asleep either.
No, you're just a zombie completely on a different dimension.